Alrighty, everybody. Sorry for the teeny tiny wait. I did not realize I was connected to my own account for YouTube. I was wondering why it wasn't showing up on the league channel. This is what happens when your commentator also participates in league races. But yeah, everybody, welcome back. We are here with our Tier 2 group here in the Yeehaw state of Texas, US. Looks like it is going to be a clear, dry day. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they meant. Our weathermen on the chat mentioning it was going to be a clear race. I'm assuming, actually, yeah, it looks like it's going to be a clear qualifying and a race. But right before the race, we do have our short 18-minute qualifying session. We do have a couple of drivers already on the grid, and looks like ooh, and Kimbrough invalidated right there. So let's see who else is up. Oh, we do have our first driver to put in a time. Looks like it's going to be Cowboys for Life. Puts in a 1:34.8. And I do want to take a look at what the qualifying session from Tier 1 was. So we did have our Saturday Tier 1 group, some of the fast boys. Looks like our quickest time in that group was a 1:31.0. Old Mama Shan puts in a 1:33.6. So still really close times at the moment. But yeah, as we mentioned, we're here in the Circuit of the Americas. We have two DRS zones, one on the main straight, exactly where Marky Mark is, right before the final corner and the first corner, followed by the next one in turn 11. But 20 corners all in total, 9 to the left, 11 right-handers. Garen Vitek, a 133.5, a tenth away from Old Mama Shan. And let's see who else. So this is quite a tricky track, especially in qualifying. We did see quite a few drivers in Tier 1 uh, unfortunately invalidate quite a few times, and especially in Sector 1. Sector 1 is definitely a place where invalidation will happen, or even in the race, most likely we'll be seeing a couple of penalties, track limit penalties. Don't want to jinx anybody specifically, but we do know a few drivers here have a reputation of that. But we do have Kyle crossing the line, gets in a 1:32.7, a really good time right there. So I am going to open the YouTube live chat in case anybody likes to speak to us. We do like to pay attention to our fans. We do know quite a few of the drivers themselves. They like to listen in, have a couple of friends and family watching as well, and some just drivers from the other race groups that like to tune in as well. Oh, but it does look like we have Paxman actually starting his lap. And a little bit of sector breakdown. We have sector 1 from turns 1 and 6. Turn 1 right here where he's about to turn. A very sharp uphill left-hander. Has a really good entrance and exit to that. Then we do have the turns 2 through 6 where those are the high-speed S-curves. Many of us already know they're inspired from the Maggots and Becketts from Silverstone. Is very cautious, Paxman, with that sector, but still keeps it within the track. Has the flap open in a few seconds. That is our second DRS zone right there, and he is definitely going to be up on his time. And very good awareness from the other drivers as well, getting out the way right there. But we do have Kyle, who is last week we had Alex, who was actually up in the standings for the league. Won the race last week, Alex, and so he is up by 37 39 points, if I'm actually not mistaken. He did get the fastest lap last week. So let me actually just take a quick little glance at that. Yeah, so Alex has a total of 39 points at the moment. He took the win last week, plus the points for the fastest lap, followed by Kyle, who is in our Kick Sauber here today. So Alex isn't showing up today, and enjoying his little vacation in Las Vegas. So Kyle does have quite the opportunity to really capitalize that and gain some points. We have Paxman across the line, puts in a 133.3. And right behind Kyle is Garen Vitek, third in the standings with 24 points. So both of them here today trying to get as much points as they can to really maximize that championship. Which of course has just started, but every point counts. We do like to acknowledge that the league does have a different point system compared to the league. Sorry, to the real life F1 group. So yeah, from first all the way to last, they do get points. So it is always important. We have seen before where, especially in constructors, the the winner has the winning team has won by like 1 point. So every point counts, every position counts. So it's always important to just finish the race, try to really get those points for the team as well as for the drivers championship. But we do have Anko Production, one of our new drivers in the McLaren now. Does have the Ferrari right in front of him of Broom, who actually not Broom, a Hafrenix, who looks like he is probably finishing up his lap as well. But Anko Production 133.5 puts him up in P3. Hafrenix looks like he was possibly starting. His light is blinking. Let's see. Our only driver who hasn't put in a time yet is Moron One. Quite a hilarious name to really call out, but but yeah, I am looking at the chat. Ay, ay. A few of the drivers on the other groups also acknowledging through DMs the funny names in our in our group. Ooh, locks up quite a bit right there. Has a pretty slow exit. But yeah, Mr. Curry, Short Curry on the chat, I do see that you're asking when are Tier 1 standings up. So for Austria, they have already been posted on the Discord. However, we do have a new Instagram account, so we are looking to start posting our standings in that group, most likely either tomorrow. That way everybody can kind of keep up, and we'll even try posting it on our YouTube. Uh, That way everybody could be involved in what's happening in the league. And so Moron 1 puts in a 135.6. So all the drivers have actually put in their time. Do have Garen Vitek. Looks like he just crossed the line, but we'll take a look at the drivers up in front. Kyle is actually has already started his lap in sector 2 already. Is actually up by 900th off his time. Oh, Mama Sean looks like is up ahead. And is actually going back into the pits. So let's see, anything from Zoolander? No. So Kyle is the only one in the top 3 putting in a time. Kyle's gonna go around the final corner. Very tight entrance on that. And really nicely done at 132.5. And for the constructors, I'll actually take a look at that as well. So we do have the Alpines, who had a really good start for the first week, leading with 49 points. That is the team of Marky Mark in P16 at the moment. And Alex, who's not here today, as we mentioned already. And we do have in second place the Red Bulls with 42 points. That is Garen Vitek, who is here today. Unfortunately, his teammate is not here. High RPM. And then third, we also have the Salvers with 38 points. So both of them are here. So as we mentioned before, it is important the position that you finish, the points that you're able to put in. So it looks like the Kick Salvers do have more of an advantage today, having both the drivers participating. But it looks like Vroom crossed the line, puts in a 135.4. You have Marky Mark, who is actually finishing up his lap, and goes a little bit too tight on that corner, and unfortunately invalidates his lap. We'll keep an eye on Paxton Man, who actually looked like he put in a purple second sector. His fuel light is flashing, so I'm wondering if he is going to finish the lap. It looks like he is. Goes around the final corner. And puts in a 133.0. Does improve on his time. Let's see, very few drivers who are actually on their hot lap, but we'll take a look at Juez. Has to be very careful. Does take that really nice. It goes a bit wide. So those final corners are definitely troublesome. You either go too tight on the entrance and invalidate, or just go wide and invalidate. So it is quite a hard corner to really get. And looks like high RPM might be joining. Let's see. He has sent me a message. Yeah, looks like he has. So we will get high RPM in the Red Bull here today. Ooh, looks like that is Paxton Man, who not exactly sure what happened there, as I was sending a message to RPM right there. Okay, but we do have a few drivers who are actually on their lap. Uncle Production in the McLaren, we will see if he's up on his time. Finishing up Sector 2 is up 2/10. So it looks like he still needs an invite. Alrighty, so Uncle Production 133.0. Let's see. Ooh, that is J Dubs, who has retired. Looks like he did retire on track, which if he's listening, we do recommend that drivers don't retire on the track. If you can't finish up a lap or no longer want to finish it, please do so in the pits. We do ask that. Oh, but we do have our top drivers. So So Kyle definitely trying to improve on that time. He does have a really good lead right there. Very smooth in sector one, we'll say. And looks like he's having a little bit trouble joining in. Let's see. Oh, that is the Williams of. I think that was Paxton, man, or probably an Alpine. Oh, and looks like Kyle has actually invalidated. We do have old Mama Sean right behind him. Not sure if he. Ooh, a little bit wiggly on that exit right there. Is actually up 4 tenths. So he does have the chance to actually get that pole position. Really nicely done on that last couple corners. Goes around the final corner and looks like old Mama Sean is going to put in a 132.5, so takes away the pole position from Kyle. We have Zoolander, who unfortunately invalidates his lap. And right behind we have Moron 1, who, yeah, looks like not going to be able to improve. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure if High RPM was able to join it. Actually, yeah, it looks like he was. With very limited time left of the qualifying session, manages to get control of the car. so, so we do have the two Red Bulls and the two Kick Saubers, both with both their full-time drivers participating today. Marky Mark holding the fort for the Alpine team today, as Kyle isn't here. And unfortunately, Kyle hating the game so much for the track limits. Yes. Alrighty, so our starting grid heading into the race, we have old Mama Sean starting on pole position, puts in a 132.5. Right next to him will be Kyle, his mate Kyle. And in the second round, we have Paxton Man and Onkel Production from P5 all the way to the end. We have Zoolander, Garen VTech, Cowboys for Life, Hafronix, Kovacs, and Kimbro, Vroom, Guardians, Moron 1, Hues, J-Dubs, Marky Mark, and High RPM, who joined last minute. So yeah, looking very much looking forward to this race. I knew a few drivers are already saying they hate this track. Uh, pretty sure it's because of Sector One. Sector One is such a tricky area to not validate and not to yeah, to not get any track limits for the race. But for those who are new to watching, we do have a couple minutes time to set up their strategies, fix up any setups, tweak anything that they want to for the actual race. So they do have a couple minutes before we let them know when to start. And we did see quite a variety of strategy calls. So as we've seen before, there are different calls between a one stop, two stop. One stop, I've seen, I think in tier one, we had a few drivers start on the hard compounds, take it all the way up to lap 15, possibly 17, if I'm not mistaken. Then switch over to the mediums for the one stop. Other drivers going on the mediums, taking them, I believe, from between lap 10 to 12, switching over to the hards. Uh, and the two stop, I've seen a few start on the softs, then mediums. So Yeah, it is quite a there is quite a variety of calls. We will see how it goes. They did mention that it is going to be a clear race, so no rain is expected, which I'm pretty sure a lot of the drivers are happy compared to last week where it was a dry to wet race. And again, they do start with a formation lap, which also helps a lot in case people do ready up early. Does give them enough time to get back into the car, uh, we're running from wherever they are. It looks like Kovacs isn't exactly happy starting in P9, but yeah, you never know. You never know. We always like to say the driver of the day challenge. I personally like to start from the back and then move my way all the way up. Alrighty, so they do have the permission to ready up. They get those 30 seconds of the timer countdown, and then that followed by that, as we mentioned before, the formation lap. Alrighty, so should be a really good race. Tier 1 was a really interesting race as well. Um, and after this, we do have our Gnosis Division 1 group, which is always a great race to watch as well. But we do hear that timer going down. They should be starting in a few. Alrighty, so off they go. And looking at the strategy calls, so we do have the front two starting on hard compounds. From P3 all the way to P9, we have the driver starting on mediums and Kimbrough on the hard compounds, Marky Mark on the hard compounds as well. Vroom, our only driver actually starting on the soft tires, which is an interesting thing to see. I will say it is a tough track to really bring out the safety car. Um, we did see a few virtual safety cars on Saturday, but there is a lot of runoff. So some of them might be counting on there being no safety car. But again, you never know. They do like to say I tend to commentators curse them, so ooh, it looks like that is Mama Sean and Kyle, the two Frenchmen, doing a few donuts before getting started. Probably getting those tires warmed up. Alrighty, so they are lined up on the grid, and is Shan able to defend the position from Kyle and Paxton right behind them? So we have 1 lights, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and off they go. And oh, Paxton actually having a phenomenal start. Sean a little bit squiggly right there. We do have Paxman going on the outside. He does have Sean right behind them. Sean having a really bad start right there, but Encore Production somehow sneaking his way up and actually moving all the way to the leading area of the track. Wow. Was not even keeping an eye on him. Encore Production really doing a great job to get past all those drivers and make his way up to P1. I believe he was starting in 4th. So really great start from Encore Production in the McLaren today. Ooh, and we do have behind, looks like that is Marky Mark, who had a bit of a spin right there. So of course DRS is not yet enabled. However, we do see quite a few drivers looking to make a move. We have Mate Kyle getting the pass down on Garen Vitek. Ooh, and looks like that is Sean making the move on the inside of Paxman. Isn't able to capitalize and stays in P5 at the moment. And looks like in the back we do have high RPM also making up positions, having started last due to joining qualifying too late. But as of now, we do have Encore Production starting the second lap, leading now, and now DRS is enabled, so he does have quite a bit of the pack following right behind him. And I am keeping an eye on high RPM right behind. Looks like he is gaining quite a bit on Guardians. However, I do expect to see quite a bit of action happening in the front, as well as DRS is going to be enabled in the... We're going to be activated in this upcoming straight now. And looks like we do have Moron 1 getting past the Ferrari of Vroom. Looks like Zoolander looking to make a move on the inside of Shan right there, and looking to bring along Kovacs, who looks like he wasn't able to make a move, but it is the Ferrari of Hafronix having a bit of a spin right there in the background. Not exactly sure if there was any contact or if that was just a lockup and a driver mistake, but looks like he is staying very close to the back of high RPM in the Red Bull. We do have J-Dubs in the Williams actually on the back of Guardians. Looked to make a move on the inside, but looks like he chose to back down, which is probably the safest move as of yet. It is 28 laps. They're only on their 4th lap now. So we'll take a look at the position changes again. So Anka Production up 3 positions. Garen Vitek up 3 positions. Shan unfortunately losing out quite a bit, down 5 positions. Not the start he wanted, of course. And we also have Moron 1 who actually gained 4 positions. High RPM up 6 positions. Looking to get that driver of the day. Oh, but looks like we do have the Aston Martin of Shan getting the move done on Zoolander with the help of getting the flap open from DRS. And up behind, I believe that is Guardians going on the inside, trying to get the pass down on N. Kimbrough. N. Kimbrough defending the position, slows down Guardians a little bit. And looks like J-Dubs is going to get the pass done. So quite a lot of action, I will say. Very phenomenal driving. Um, oh, more on one going a little bit wide right there. So I do question when we're gonna be seeing those track limit penalties. And oh, that is the Mercedes of Guardians in the wall, and doesn't look like he has any wing damage, so he is able to continue on. But up ahead, I believe that was a bit of a battle between Paxman and Moron as well. Actually, Garen VTech. I was looking, I was looking at Moron one and Vroom. Vroom closing in quite a bit on on the Racing Bull right there. Oh, that is Kovacs. Kovacs on the wall. Not sure if he has damage, but he is losing quite 3 positions already. Yeah, looks like that is no damage. And up ahead, we did have Kyle getting the pass done on Anchor production there. And high RPM picking up a 10-second penalty for cutting the corner and gaining a position. Trying to see what is happening up in the back. We do have quite a few drivers bunched up all together. So quite a pack right there of cars, and looks like that is and Kimbrough going for a 2-for-1 special. Made it quite a great overtake on the two Racing Bulls right there. It looks like both the Racing Bulls are having a little bit of a battle as well. Cowboys for Life dropping down quite a few positions there. Goes wide, and so J-Dubs is going to go right through. And Kimbrough, unfortunately. Oh, and looks like that was the Racing Bull of Cowboys for Life as well. So both drivers uh, having a spin, and unfortunately that's Cowboys for Life missing his left end plate. And this is definitely a track where you don't want to be having wing damage. I mean, that sector 1, it's a misery, absolute misery. Looks like he's actually missing both his end plates, and looks like up in front we do have Anchor Production losing a position from Pax the Man. Actually getting that position back. A little bit of contact between the Williams and the McLaren right there, but no harm, no foul. Looks like they're going to keep on running. I will say there's quite a lot of action happening at the same time, so I do apologize to you drivers if I'm missing a few of the action, a few of your moves, but we do see the movement happening on the list. And it does look like Paxman dropped back a little bit from Anko production. He is under pressure by the Red Bull of Garen Vitek, who looks like he isn't going to make a move yet. So looking at the penalties again, so high RPM has a 10-second penalty at the moment. Marky Mark in the back with a 3-second penalty. Oh, it does look like Paxman is going to be looking to make a move on this next upcoming DRS zone. Is going to get the flap open in a few seconds. Looks like he does, and does go to make the move on Anko production. I wonder if Garen VTech is going to look to make the move as well. So he does make the move on the inside. Anko production losing 2 positions right there. Oh, it looks like we do have movement happening in the back as well. Moron 1 still having quite the battle with Vroom, the Ferrari, who is still on those soft tires. And Kyle actually doing really well, extending his lead 2.7 seconds ahead of Paxman. Looks like up ahead, Anka Production still closing in on the back of Garen Vitek. Actually has both the Aston Martin and Zoolander on the back of him as well. And looks like we do have our first driver going into the pits, and not surprising, that is Broom, who had started on the soft tires, which have definitely worn off a bit. Moving on to the medium tires, and as I say, like Anka Production actually picking up a 3-second penalty, so that is definitely going to hurt him with how close that front grid is. So like I mentioned, we did see quite a few different difference of strategies in Tier 1. We did have a one-stopper. The winner did have a one-stop strategy. Quite a few drivers who actually started on did the two-stopper. But it looks like Kyle might be looking for the one-stop strategy. Ho, Garen VTech going wide, and so Anka Production is going to go right on through. Now Garen VTech does have old Mama Sean on the back of him. Garen VTech picking up a 3-second penalty now. And up behind, looks like we do have a battle between High RPM and Kovacs. Ooh, High RPM going on the inside. Really great driving between these two. So a bit of wheel-to-wheel action right there, and Hafrenix in the back having quite the view of that. Probably waiting for one of them to make a mistake, and two, it looks like the one that makes a mistake is Hafrenix himself. And yeah, you know what? I will be at fault for that, for the commentator's curse. I do apologize for that. Jesus Christ. Oh man, but High RPM still battling it out with Kovacs. Both of them looking to go side by side in Sector 1. Looks like High RPM actually gets ahead of Kovacs. And man, I really wish they had the helicopter view of that first sector. But this, of course, will do. It looks like Kovacs might be looking to make the move right before the corner. Both of them doing a really amazing job to give each other space. And so it looks like the driver who's gonna get the DRS is Kovacs. I was gonna say that. I was surprised he was gonna make a move, but it looks like he backed out and decided to wait for the DRS. But High RPM is definitely not giving that up, it looks like. Oh, but it was Kovacs who went wide, and so High RPM is gonna go right on through. So again, High RPM does have that 10-second penalty. However, we never know if they're able to appeal that. So drivers, of course, are able to continue battling it out until the end of the race. So more on one picking up a 3-second penalty now. And May Kyle actually still extending the gap, now 4.1 seconds ahead of Paxman. And looks like we do have Zoolander, who has decided to pit. Goes from the medium compounds to the hard compounds. Oh, that was more on one who actually had quite a bit of a whip right there. It's great to actually capture the car and avoid spinning off even more. Kovacs now picking up a 3-second penalty. So quite the penalty party here today. So we have Anka Production, Garen VTech, Kovacs, Guardians, Marky Mark with 3 seconds. High RPM with that 10 seconds as we mentioned before. More on one with 6 seconds. And we do have up in front yellow flags. It looks like that is Mama Sean. Sean onto the gravel is losing. Has lost. I'm not exactly sure if he lost positions there, but he does have quite the gap ahead of High RPM and the rest of the drivers to still be handling P5. Although it looks like he does have that wing damage, missing his right end plate. Looks like we do have Garen VTech still on the back of Encore Production. Looks like he isn't going to make the move yet. And no Mama Shan picking up a 3-second penalty now. Actually chooses not to pit and change the tires. Picks up a 10-second penalty. So this, I can already imagine him cursing himself out or cursing the game out in French. Oh man, definitely not the race that he wanted for today. I'm surprised he hasn't pit yet. I mean that wing looks horrible. And he does have the Racing Bull right behind him, who has to be very careful considering Omama-shan is going to be braking earlier than normal. And it looks like he is going to let them through. I don't think the Racing Bull was expecting that. Yeah, so a little bit of a whip from Moron 1 right there. So he can choose to pit, however, I do believe he will have to serve that 10-second penalty, which is obviously going to make his pit stop a lot longer than normal. Marky Mark picking up a 3-second penalty now. And up ahead, we do have Kovacs on the back of High RPM, who has actually gained all the way up to P5 now. And that is yellow flags. And it seems like that is going to be a virtual safety car. I don't see the actual... Actually, no. Looks like that is going to be a safety car. I do see a yellow car. I'm trying to see who is up in front. There we go. We do have High RPM. I believe that is the safety car right ahead of him. And it is... So Guardians is out of the session, unfortunately. This does help old Mama Shan, who has that wing damage, does have that 10-second penalty. But yeah, I am curious to see what happened to Guardians. Hopefully that was just a driver error and no contact with another driver, but he has been unlucky in a few races. Hopefully next week is better. So that is a safety car, and looks like old Mama Shan doesn't serve the penalty. So it looks like the game for well, it was a 10-second penalty for track limits. So I'm assuming for track limits they don't serve it. But yeah, very unfortunate for Sean. But you never know how the race is going to be. There are still 17 laps left, including this one. And it looks like the majority of the drivers are going to choose the free pit stop. Kyle starting on the hards, now moving on to the medium tires. Paxaman, Garen VTech, and Encore Production in the hard compounds. Oh, looks like more penalties are falling out. Cowboys for Life picking up a 3-second penalty now. And Moron 1 picking up a 10-second penalty for exceeding track limits. Honestly, this game is quite harsh, the 10-second penalty for the track limits. It's like when they extended the 5-second penalty for exceeding the pit entrance all the way up to 10 seconds. It was quite a horrendous thing to see, but so they do have to wait for the rest of the grid to catch up. So yeah, Mini Tony, thank you very much for actually mentioning that. I had myself muted, which is a good thing because I yelled a really big "oh snap" with Garen, VTech, and Paxton, man. Oh man, yeah, I did have myself muted right there for a second. Um, Kyle having a really safe start. Paxton, man, just losing control of the car in front of Garen, VTech, and yeah, just very unfortunate. Both of them losing or having wing damage. But Kyle actually extending his gap 1.8 seconds and also pick up a 10-second penalty and is going to retire from the race due to that. So yeah, just very unlucky race for him. And it looks like Kyle picking up a 3-second penalty, so he does have Anchor production right behind him with 3 seconds as well. Cowboys for Life also retiring in the pits and leaving the session as well. Not exactly sure if Cowboys for Life was caught up in the incident as well, but yeah, just a very unfortunate race for Garen Vitek and Paxman, who has dropped down to P14 now. Up ahead, we do have N. Kimbrough looking to make the move on Kovacs. Actually goes wide, and so Kovacs is going to try defending the position again. A little bit of wheel banging right there, but N. Kimbrough staying ahead. And so Kyle now picking up the fastest lap at the moment, 136.1. Has a pretty comfortable lead now from Encore Production, up 2.9, now 3 seconds looks like it's going to be extending to. Zoolander has actually dropped back quite a few and has a little bit of a wiggle right there. He is on older tires. And now N. Kimbrough picking up a 3-second penalty as well. It looks like I was actually looking at the leader interval. So this is the actual interval. So Zoolander still within 1.7 seconds behind of Encore Production, who has that 3-second penalty. Kovacs looks like we do have Old Mama Sean looking to make a move on high RPM, going on the inside. Has a really good exit and looks like he is going to get the DRS. So Old Mama Sean, even after quite the unfortunate start, is in P7 at the moment. So still within the top 10. He does have drivers ahead of him with penalties, although he actually himself has 13 seconds of penalties, so he might actually lose out quite a bit. Moran won with 25 seconds of penalties. So quite the penalty merchant for today. Usually Kyle is our penalty merchant of this group. So it looks like he has a title that's gonna be stolen from him. Well, we do have Old Mama Sean making another move on the Ferrari of Hafronix. And Old Mama Sean actually extending his gap from Hafronix, 1.4 seconds now. Hafronix does have higher RPM right behind him. Looks like not close enough to make any move yet. Old Mama Sean looking to make another move on Kovacs now. So Sean actually on the move made 3 positions already within, I believe, 2 laps. So really trying to extend as much as he can, even with those 13 seconds of penalties. Of course, like we mentioned before, you never know if they can appeal those 10 seconds or any of those penalties and just hopefully hang on to whatever position they finish to. But we're on one now, picking up another 3-second penalty. So that's 28 seconds of penalties. So 9 laps remaining, including this one. Kyle still leading the grid. Has quite a comfortable gap of 3.7 seconds. However, he has started on medium tires. Or hasn't started, has switched onto medium tires. So those tires are going to be feeling horrendous towards the end of the race. Anka Production with the hard compounds is in a pretty good position to possibly get a win or just stay in the podium run. Oh, looks like we do have room battling it out with the Racing Bull of Moron 1. Really nice switchback from the Racing Bull right there. Oh, looks like a little bit of contact. Unfortunately, not getting the broadcast view from up ahead, but looks like the Racing Bull is going to stay ahead. We do have Old Mama Sean up in front, right behind his teammate and Kimbrel, who is actually having a really great race today, up to P4 at the moment. We do want to acknowledge Jen Kimbrel, Mr. Nico Hulk Kimbrel, in the Aston Martin. Started out last season with learning no traction, and look at him already comfortable, looks like it. And so Sean is going to be closing in, does have the battery on, has the flap open as well with the DRS. Looks like Ed Kimbrel is going to... Actually, looks like not much of a battle between those two, so pretty good teamwork right there. And behind we do still have Hafernix on the back of Kovacs. Vroom and Moron 1 still going at it seems. Oh, a little bit of a whip from the Racing Bull right there. And so Kyle's still extending his gap, 4.3 seconds now ahead of Anka Production. Hafernix still hunting down the back of Kovacs. So Hafernix is actually in a really good position at the moment. Finally, we get this view of Sector 1 from up above. So as I was mentioning, Hafernix is in a comfortable position. He does have Kovacs ahead of him with 3 seconds penalties, hanging on right behind him with the DRS. And looks like now Paxman joining the party as well. 3-second penalty. Marky Mark picking up another 3 seconds. So that is 9 seconds for Marky Mark. Looks like Hafernix is going to be looking to make the move on the Has of Kovacs. Gets the move done easily with the help of the DRS. And also looks like Marky Mark on the back of Paxman, although he is on 5 lap older tires than Paxman. More on one now, picking up another 3-second penalty. So quite the penalty count for the Racing Bull right there. 31 seconds is quite the accomplishment, I will say. Jeez. But Kyle is still hanging on with those 10-lap old medium tires. Only 6 laps remaining, including this one. And looks like our closest battle at the moment is still between Hafrenix and Kovacs. And looks like Kimbrel has dropped back a little bit as well. Hafrenix actually has a really good exit right there and is going to get the DRS off of Kimbrel. Looks like Hafrenix does get the move done, and Kimbrel going on the inside. Oh, goes a little bit wide, and looks like Hafrenix is going to go on the inside. So quite a bit of a battle between these two. Hafrenix not giving it up. And Hafrenix really trying to go for the switchback right there, but stays right behind of Kimbrel. It's a really good battling between these two, and Kovacs right behind, just enjoying the show, looks like it. It looks like J-Dub's picking up another 3-second penalty right there. And oh, that is Kimbrel having a spin, and unfortunately off the track and into the grass now. And dropping quite a few positions there. He does have a few drivers coming up from behind as well. We're on one, picking up another 3-second penalty, and so Kimbrel's going to drop down all the way to P12 now. And we do have Kovacs making a move on the inside of the Ferrari now. So it looks like our battle is still, the closest battle is still between Hafrenix and Kovacs. Oh, it looks like Paxman losing control of the car again and dropping back positions as well. Not sure if he actually has any damage yet. It looks like his wing is still intact. But Paxman doing really well to hang on. I know that first spin was quite horrendous, but he's still hanging on and trying to get those points. And so Kyle, even with the medium tires, still holding on for a win. So top 3 still have those 3-second penalties. All Mamashan with 13. Kovacs with 3 seconds. Hafrenix possibly looking for a even a P4 at the end of this race if he's able to keep it consistent and stay within that DRS of Kovacs as well. And room as well within the 6 seconds of J-Dubs. possibly looking for a P8 finish. But it does look like Hafernix has dropped back a little bit from the back of Kovacs, no longer within the DRS of the Haas. Although he does look like he actually picked up quite a bit of time right there. So now Hafernix back within the DRS of Kovacs. Still hanging on, losing a little bit of time, gaining it again. A little bit of a back and forth between these two. But the kick Sauber of Kyle still doing an amazing job. Now 6 seconds ahead of Aqua Production. So as I mentioned before, he did have to take advantage of Alex missing out on this race. So he will be looking to gain those points. Even as a team. Yeah, Wes in P11 at the moment. So as we mentioned before, if I'm not mistaken, the Kick Saubers were in third in the standings at the moment. And looks like, as I say that, Wes dropping back down to P13, a little bit of an incident. I really have to stop cursing these drivers. But yeah, as I mentioned before, Sauber's in third, trying to gain those points. The Red Bull is really unfortunate for Garen Vitek, who was involved in that incident, but he does have high RPM in P7 at the moment. Also holding the fort for the team, as well as Marky Mark, only 2 drivers without their teammates at the moment. But 2 laps remaining, and actually looks like Kyle has dropped down a little bit from Aqua Production. So as I mentioned before, those medium tires were going to be feeling a little bit horrible towards the end of the race. And Kimbrough now picking up a 3-second penalty. So that is 6 seconds in total for the Aston Martin. Ooh, Aqua Production a little bit wiggly on those tires now. So he does have Zoolander, who looks like it is closing in quite a bit, does have quite a bit of battery saved. And now Higher PM picking up a 3-second penalty. Oh, Mama Shan as well picking up another 3 seconds. So that's 16 seconds for the Aston Martin there. It looks like Zoolander is doing as much as he can to get close to the McLaren of Encore Production now. Both of them do have the 3-second penalties. So the fight for P2 might be towards the end. Moron 1 picking up another 3 seconds now. 37 seconds of penalties. Most likely very much gonna affect his race result there, but yeah, so Zoolander is now within the DRS of Encore Production. So it looks like, yes, the battle for P2 is going to be on for the last lap. Kyle comfortably 4.8 seconds ahead of the McLaren, has to keep it consistent, and if he does, he is going to secure that P1 finish. Well, it looks like our closest battle is between the Mercedes and the McLaren, and up behind Paxaman, looking to be behind the Aston Martin of N. Kimbrell. looks like Paxman has made the move on Enkernbo, but we are going to focus on these two at the moment. That is yellow flags. I believe that is Marky Mark in Sector 1. But Zoolander closing in on the back of Anka Production. I don't think he's going to make the move yet, and looks like, yeah, he is going to back out of that move. So Zoolander is going to get the DRS on the next DRS zone, still staying within less than a second behind of the McLaren. Has to have a really good exit here, and looks like he does, using the battery to try catching up. He is going to get the DRS. Is quite far back, so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make a move. And looks like no, he isn't closing in. He goes quite a bit too deep, and looks like Aqua Production expected that and slowed down quite a bit. Slips right through, and so Aqua Production stays ahead. So very, very close call, but very much great awareness from the McLaren of Aqua Production there. Quite a tricky braking area, especially with the DRS and the high speed. You do have to make sure you brake quick, but still phenomenal racing. That is Kyle crossing the line, gets the win, and so Aqua Production going around the final corner and looks like is going to keep that P2 and P3. We do have Old Mama Sean. Honestly, a great job despite having a bit of a trouble start and those penalties. He is going to drop down a few positions. Hafrenix picking up all the way to P4. Oh, Mama Sean dropping down to P7 with those penalties. And Vroom taking advantage of the 6-second penalty of J-Dubs. Moves up to P8. We do have Moron 1 with the 37 seconds of penalties. So he is going to drop down quite a few positions there. Paxman, top 10. Oh, that is Marky Mark having a little bit of trouble there onto the grass. And, oh, I do see on the Discord chat, Zoolander apologizing for, to Anchor Production for that dive bomb. I know the dirty air is quite tricky on this game. But, I mean, yeah, great awareness, great drive from both of them, and, very sportsmanlike to apologize as well. But that is Kyle with the win. Also taking the fastest lap with a 1:36.1. Really great drive from Kyle, keeping it consistent. Only picked up one track limit penalty, only 3 seconds, compared to his history of picking up very much more in the past. But phenomenal drive by him. And sharing the podium, we do have Anchor Production in the McLaren. Now a McLaren driver will be scoring points for them. And in third, also sharing the podium, we have Zoolander in the Mercedes. And from P4 all the way to the end, we do have Hafrenix, Kovacs, High RPM, Omama Shan, Vroom, J-Dubs, Paxtaman, and Kimbrel, Juez, Moran 1, Marky Mark, and our 3 DNFs, Cowboys for Life, Garen Vitek, and Guardians. Not exactly sure what happened to Cowboys for Life. Garen Vitek, very, very unfortunate, having a car spin right in front of him and unfortunately into him. Guardians having that incident as well with his spin and into the wall, I'm assuming. But other than that, very great race. A lot of action that happened, and a lot of action happening at the same time, which was quite difficult to keep up with. But yeah, great race. We do have our no assist Division 1 group in about an hour. And then after that, we do have on Wednesday our Division 2 with no assist. So stay tuned. Tonight it will be hosted by me, La Rodri, followed by also Turtle Commander 7, our division admin. And next week we also have our break. We do have a 4th of July break for us North Americans, especially me since I live here. But yes, after that we do have our next race, which will be in Jeddah. So I know a few drivers were looking forward to that track. Personally, I'm happy I'm not racing there, so I will be excited to be looking at how the race goes. But yeah, everybody, thank you for watching. Apologies for having myself muted for a few seconds there, especially when the big incident happened. But I do appreciate some of you drivers, especially Mini Tony, letting me know I have myself muted. So so it's good to have a second hand right there. But everybody have a good night, good morning, good evening if you're not going to watch our Division 1 group. But for those who will, we'll catch you guys later.